Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. So you may have noticed that the quality of some of my videos has been pretty bad as of late. I'm still using an old computer that I bought before COVID-19, if you can believe it. I've just been so busy as of late. It's not necessarily just the monetary cost of replacing the computer, but so much is in here. Having to move everything, among other things, my computer programs, stuff that I'm grading for my classes, programs that I like to use to show my students and all that, tax information, among other things. Just so much stuff in here. I've been putting it off, and so I also overestimated the price of a new computer. I'm still in pre-2020 prices. So I thought I would make a video to show just how much deflation we have had in recent decades. When I was a kid, I inherited my dad's 286 computer, if you could believe it. It had a few kilobytes of memory, if I remember correctly. I could probably do more out of a cell phone today than that giant computer tower that we had back in the early 1990s. My dad, in 1985, paid about 10 ounces of gold for that computer, if you can believe it. The computer that I'm using right now that I bought just before the pandemic, I think I paid about 2.5 ounces of gold, right? So a quarter to a fifth of the cost for 64 gigabytes of RAM compared to probably 64 kilobytes of RAM in the 1980s, right? A tenth of the cost, right? Certainly the 286 we had as a kid, it couldn't record video. You probably couldn't store 2 seconds of video on the hard drive of that, right, before you ran out of space, even if you could record it, right? And then the new computer that I'm ordering today, half an ounce of gold for double the memory. So 4 times deflation that we've had in the last 5 years, right? But it's not just computers that have deflated. Even food has deflated. When I was a kid, I used to love to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Regis Philbin hosted it. He passed away a few years ago. And at the time, McDonald's sponsored heavily on it. And there was this promotion, 8 for 88. There were 8 menus, 4 chicken McNuggets, if I remember correctly. 88 at the time, gold was about $250 an ounce. Right now, it's 10 times that. I doubt any of those menu items are 10 times $8.80. Right? I'll let you go to McDonald's and check it out. So McDonald's prices have deflated, which kind of makes sense, right? At the time, you couldn't use self-checkout at a McDonald's, right? There was a lot less automation on the farm as well, right? Although you have to question if the McDonald's item you're buying today is the same as the McDonald's items back then. There's probably a lot more chemicals in it. Not to mention the service sucks a lot more, right? Back then, in the 1990s, if you went to a McDonald's and you had a good conversation with the cashier, there was a small chance you might meet your future spouse, right? Nowadays, you just type it into a computer, right? And so I guess the service has gone down a little bit. I started eating healthier a few years after that show, actually. 2003 is when I stopped drinking soda. I ate a lot of bananas at the beginning of my healthy eating career. And I distinctly remember paying 50 cents a pound for bananas. I still pay around that much, if you can believe it. In the meantime, gold has gone up from about $400. Right now, it's like $2,500. So bananas have gone down 80-some% in real terms, right? And this is the natural order of things, right? As technology improves, everything should be getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Of course, my time doesn't get any cheaper. That's why I've been having a hard time replacing the computer, not just for the monetary costs, but for I've just been so busy with art, with computer programming, with teaching, that replacing the computer and moving everything to the new computer has fallen by the wayside, even though the cost has gone down from 2 ounces of gold down to like half an ounce, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum, 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 bum.